Good morning and thanks for tuning in to Kalkine TV. I'm James Preston and you're watching the Early Trades, where we share with you a glimpse of the Australian share market and its opening trade scenario, along with the global and domestic drivers triggering the market momentum. We'll take a look at prominent newsmakers during the early trade hours. We'll also take an in-depth look at the movement seen in cryptocurrency, crude oil, gold and metals indices. But let's begin with observing the morning's trading cues following Wall Street overnight. After falling in the previous session, Australian shares opened in the green on Wednesday, with the ASX 200 gaining 16.1 basis points. 9 of 11 sectors are trading higher, along with the ASX S&P index. Information technology is the best performing sector. Strong oil prices drove domestic energy stocks and tech stocks this morning, possibly taking cues from an overnight rally in the big tech firms on Wall Street. On Tuesday, the benchmark index fell by 0.4%. Meanwhile, the Australian Prudential Regulation Authority, or APRA, on Wednesday increased the minimum interest rate buffer it expects banks to use when assessing the serviceability of home loan applications. APRA has told lenders it expects they will assess new borrowers' ability to meet their loan repayments at an interest rate that is at least 3 percentage points above the loan product rate. The move was taken to counter the risk due to rising home loans. The top gainers of the day on the ASX during opening trade are Victory Mines, Continental Oil and Gas and Ost China Holdings. Whereas the bottom performing stocks are New Peak Metals, Oak Ridge International and Metals Australia. The US dollar strengthened and US and European tech stocks zoomed ahead of US payroll data, which is set to be released this Friday. The data is expected to reveal the US Federal Reserve's next move on bond tapering. Another jump in crude oil futures triggered inflation concerns. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones was up by 1.35%, the S&P 500 was up by 1.4%, and the Nasdaq was up by 1.6%. Let's now turn our attention to some of the prominent ASX shares during the early trades. The first company on our radar is Nuix, which has appointed 2 new independent non-executive directors as part of the company's push to increase the size, diversity and number of Australian-based independent directors on its board. Both have joined Nuix's board of directors immediately. The share price of Nuix was trading at $2.54 during opening trades. The next company on the list is A2 Milk. The infant formula maker announced that it will defend the class action suit filed by Slater and Gordon lawyers. In the class action suit, it's alleged that A2 Milk engaged in misleading conduct in breach of the Corporations Act and continues disclosure rules. The share price of A2 Milk was trading at $6.49 during opening trades. Time now for a very quick break on Kalkine TV. Stay tuned. After the break, we wrap up the early trades with a look at crypto, bond yields and more.
Property by Kalkine. Looking for a dream home? Well, that may sound easy, but it isn't. And from looking for a property that is the right fit for you in terms of cost and other factors, to zeroing down on the right mortgage plan, there are various aspects to consider. And for the latest lowdown on the property market, tune in on Kalkine TV with me, Sage. I will give the latest updates on the property market as well as real estate stocks to help you make the right decision. Keep watching Property with Kalkine.
Welcome back to the Early Trades, exclusive to Kalkine TV. I'm James Preston, and let's now jump into cryptocurrency, bond yields, crude oil, gold and metals indices. Let's begin by looking at the bond yields. Short-dated yields have jumped as the US Treasury eyes 18th of October as when it could run out of cash. Democrats planned a Wednesday vote in the Senate to suspend the US debt ceiling, setting up yet another confrontation with Republicans that risk an economically crippling federal credit default. The 10-year Treasury note rose 5.5 basis points to yield 1.5362%. Germany's 10-year bond yield, rose by 3.5 BPS, 30 basis points higher than it was 2 months ago. In the currency space, the dollar index rose 0.16% to 93.997. The euro fell 0.24% to trade at $1.1593, and the Japanese yen traded up 0.58% at $111.51. Moving on to crude oil, the Brent crude oil prices hit 3-year highs after the Organisation of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC, and its allies stuck to its gradual output increase plan. On the other hand, US WTI prices hit at their highest point since 2014. Brent crude settled at $82.56 a barrel. US crude settled at $78.93 a barrel. Energy stocks such as Woodside Petroleum were trading higher during early trades, whereas Santos also edged a little higher during early trading on Wednesday. Gold prices fell as stronger US Treasury yields and a stronger dollar negatively impacted the safe haven metals appeal. US gold futures settled down by 0.4% to trade at $1,760.90 an ounce. ASX-listed gold stocks such as Northern Star Resources were seen in the red during early trading. Nuix Mining was also trading lower during opening trades on Wednesday. In Asia, market focus was on whether the beleaguered property developer from China, Evergrande, would offer any respite to investors looking for signs of asset disposals. And in the crypto space, Bitcoin rose above $50,000 for the first time in 4 weeks, adding to a series of gains since the start of October. It's enjoyed a particularly strong 24 hours, rising a phenomenal 4.5%. All right, well, that's all for the early trades. Hope you enjoyed the show. Stay watching Kalkine TV for the latest market updates across the market, business and breaking news. I'm James Preston, reporting for Kalkine.